Thank you. Thank you. Hope you can all hear me. If you can hear me, again, let's adopt Shagun style. Boom, boom, boom in the chat. Uh, thank you to the Wisdoms team for having me here. Thank you, Kelvin. And amazing, amazing session all through since morning. Ife's story. Thank you, Ife, for being so open, sharing the truth as it is. Shagun for really taking us high up there, and Kelvin as well. Really, really, really grateful for the time. Thank you, guys. So I'm here. A little bit of background. I will talk about what I call my progress blueprint, and then I will share a little bit of background about myself, business, life, work, everything. Um, um, I started my career, as it is called, in 2002. I like to make reference to 2002 because that's when everything changed for me. You see, I love movies. I love Western movies a lot. I grew up on a lot of war flicks, watching them with my dad and all. When I left secondary school, or before I left secondary school, actually, I saw a computer for the first time, and I got really fascinated and I got really interested. Now, in 2002, 2001, I started going to this computer center to learn on my own with the support of my parents, of course. And then I stumbled on this thing called the internet, you know, and I stumbled on yahoo.com and immediately thought to myself, wow, I should build this for Nigeria. You know, that was it. I didn't have a computer back then, and cyber cafes were very expensive. So back in the day, internet wasn't in every home. So we go to a cyber cafe, use the internet, pay for time, then go back home. I didn't have a computer of my own, so I'll go to the cyber cafe, which was quite a distance from our house. Um, I will pay for some time, and within that period of time, I would scribble down the notes. I was learning how to build a website like Yahoo. That was the dream. So I was learning that on the internet in 2002. I didn't have a computer. So everything I was learning online then, and mind you, there was no YouTube then. So it wasn't video, it was all text. I still remember the name of my teacher, Professor Joe Bonds. That was his name then. I would write the notes on paper, take it back home, and then try to recreate what the tutorial had said on paper. Then come back to the cafe some other time to use their system to build what I had written out or to program what I had written out on the computer. I mean, it was what it is. I was young. I was passionate about it. It was interesting to me. I mean, I really did not consider it as we would say in Nigeria, sufferhead. I was just learning, enjoying it, and then fast forward after uni. This was before uni. Fast forward after uni, I decided, okay, yeah, let me do this full time. Even in university, I was doing business within campus. I was writing codes, building websites, building a brand. It was fun. I was basically making money even as a student. Uh, at a particular time in 300 level, we had a presentation in school, and a lecturer actually failed me because I corrected him on something he said was wrong or was correct. There was a particular computer science technology back then I had started using before, you know, I got to that level, even before I got to uni. And he was saying something wrong, really. And I said, oh, this, I think it should be like this. Oh, that was it. Like, yo, young man, you're failing this course. And that was it. That was it for that particular course. But then that did not deter me. After school, built my business. And then some years later, I started a new business, which Kelvin made reference to with my partner then, Michael. Michael still runs that business now, but I've exited that business, started a new business again, which is also doing very well. So that's a bit of background about me. What I would say is, as far as I see it, we are living in the best times we can ever be alive in. And I'll tell you why I say that. We are very, very privileged. If you heard when I started, back then there were no computers around, there were no internets around. Um, the opportunities were quite slim, limited. But right now, I mean, the world is now flat all over again. We're here, you are there, you can hear me, I can hear you, can see me, I can see you. You can take this to heart. I mean, this is going live to Facebook, and after now, it's going to YouTube. Back in the day, oh, I remember another history lesson. At a point in time as well, with another friend called Fidelis, we wanted to package together our knowledge into video seminars, like we call it back in the day. Interesting story. Then in university, there was a strike period, so we were home for about, I think, 3 to 6 months. So we decided that this is what we wanted to do with our time, and we did it. But in doing that, we learned a whole lot. So I had a computer. I was trying to record videos on the computer, record the tutorials myself, and then there was no light, there was no generator. So I carried my computer, got in a bus, went to Fidelis's house because he had a generator, but he did not have a computer. And then we shot the videos together, put it out there on the internet. On That was my second website for myself. Then I can't remember the name anymore. It was called Boom Tips, yes, boomtips.com. And then it wasn't common to have you download videos, and YouTube just was fresh back then. So we're selling the videos on DVDs. Interesting times, right? We're selling them on DVDs, not like what you have now. Now, I say all of that to bring us to this point where I mentioned earlier, we're living in the best times, the most privileged time of all times. Yes, COVID-19 happened last year. A lot of people are feeling down. A lot of people are feeling like, oh, we've lost so much. We've lost a lot of people. We can't discount that. We've also lost businesses. Some people have lost careers. But this is the best time to put your head down and say, yes, we can rebuild again. And so we get into the progress blueprint. I call it the progress blueprint because it's something I've always, always, always believed in. I've always believed in progress. And that's totally tied into the theme for this whole conference, which is March4ward. Progress is made every single day, regardless. Every day you are given a gift. It's a new day, a new morning. You had an opportunity to rewrite every mistake of yesterday. You have every opportunity to plant the seeds of tomorrow today. It becomes a responsibility when you wake up to say, I'm taking this day, I'm seizing it, and I'm making the best of it, regardless of what happens. So there's no food to eat right now. It's fine. Doesn't mean there won't be food tomorrow. Someone shuts the door on you yesterday. It's also fine. It doesn't mean tomorrow or even this evening someone else would not open another door for you. That has happened several times for me, even in business. I mean, you go for a pitch session, you are up against other stronger, bigger companies, and it doesn't work because they are making a better pitch. But from that whole experience, I will learn. I will go back again tomorrow, and I will get my own say in the boardrooms and get that business for myself and for my team. So, what's the progress blueprint? The progress blueprint starts from the very first thing that is closest to you, to everyone, every single one of us. And thing, that thing is you. You are a gift. You are a gift to this world. You are a you are a phenomenal being. As a gift, the entire universe is waiting for you to give. So the first point is you are a gift. If you recognize that you are a gift, regardless of where you started from, regardless what you have right now, just the recognition that, oh, I am a gift. That's the foundation. The next thing is the fact that whatever scares you, right? It's it's okay. If there is fear, you have two things to do when there is fear. You get better informed and you take action. Never allow fear to make you stand still. If you're going to stand still, it should also be by choice. Okay, I'm going to wait right now for better information before I make progress. But if it's being caused by fear, you need to do those two things quickly. Get better informed. Again, we're living in the best times. There's Google, it's free, it's out there, there's YouTube, the biggest university right now in the entire universe. There's also a marketplace of universities. You can learn so much. We have awesome bloggers, writers, we have people creating Twitter thread of their experiences. I mean, I foresee that in the next 10 years, the problems we'll be talking about will be information overload because it's already started. It will now be a case of how do we distill information to insights so simple for anybody to understand. But right now, if it's what, how, why, there's a whole lot of information out there that you can jump into, latch onto, and make use for yourself. So if you're scared, get better informed and take action. If you don't take action, you'll be doing yourself a great disservice. Don't stand still. Now, the next point with the progress blueprint is to appreciate your privilege. Yes, you might say, well, I don't have this, I don't have that. There's a whole lot I don't have. There's a whole lot I want. There's a whole lot I did not have 10 years ago. There's a whole lot I did not have 20 years ago. There's a whole lot I will not have in 10 years' time. It's the fact. It's what it is. But if you appreciate what you have right now, where you are, and I'll give you some examples. You have a roof over your head. That's a privilege. Some people do not. You have data to connect with us right now. Some people do not. You have a phone that can call for help when you need one. That's a privilege. I mean, you have so much going for you that every other person does not have that you take for granted because of what you think you want. Yes, your wants, your needs, they are valid. I mean, everybody wants a better life. Everybody wants to be in a better path. Everybody wants to build a better business, bigger career. Your wants are valid. But you need to appreciate the privilege of where you are, the privilege of what you want, of what you have at the moment, and the privilege of who you are. Let me tell you about the privilege of who you are. The privilege of who you are is simple. Between you and where you're going, you have friends, associates, partners, um, family members. You have people you can reach out to say, hey, I'm trying to learn this new programming language, or I'm trying to learn about this new career path. Can you introduce me to someone who has an experience in this in the past? The person might say no. The person might say, oh, let me reach out to somebody else who I think might be able to help. By just that simple act of recognizing that, hey, I have the privilege of having a relationship with Kelvin, and I can ask him to introduce me to Ivan. That's a privilege. If I take advantage of that, I would be on my way to making progress, to marching forward. If I do not recognize that privilege, I would sit on my bed and I would keep complaining, saying, oh, I have no connections, I have no access. Um, the people I want to meet are very far from me. But the people you want to meet are as close to you as the people you already have around you. Maximize that. So I'll say it again, use your privilege. Use your privilege. Maximize that leverage that you currently have. Now, the next step in the progress blueprint. Like I said, these are just things I believe in. These are things I believe has really helped me. The next thing is to also maximize your wait period. Master it. So between you, where you are right now and where you aspire to be, yes, we're currently building a company that should be making in annual revenues of 100 million naira every year. We're currently just 3 people in the business, core people, and then we have associates that help us to fulfill some of our projects. Right now, we are not near that. We're just about a year old in this new business, but we already have clientele from outside Nigeria. And really, it's been an amazing run because it started out as a simple solution, and now it's already branching out into, uh, like something amazing that it's amazing what we've been able to accomplish in a year. That's all I can say. It's amazing. But it's been about me mastering a period which was the entire 2020 COVID-19 period, which was a wait season for a lot of people. Other businesses shut down, and here you are starting a new one. What's wrong with you? That's crazy, you know. And I'll tell you something. There was a particular pitch I did to a group of friends who were supposed to start a new platform. I wrote the business thesis. I put together the business model. I outlined the entire budget for the project. We're going to just do a pilot for the first 3 months, see how it pans out, and all of that. But then COVID-19 happened in March. There was a shutdown in Nigeria, and everybody just went in like, oh no, we can't spend on this right now, we're shutting this down, we're not going forward with this. Well, that was it, right? And then fast forward, in January 2021, I had an opportunity to speak with someone and he was sharing with me something that his organization was going into, and the capital outlay and all of that stuff, the challenges. And when he finished speaking, I was like, well, let me pause you for a bit. I think we have something that can actually solve that problem. And he was like, okay, what is it? The deck I shared in February 2020, I just went to my computer, looked for it, and I sent it to him. And he was like, yes, amazing. This solves it. When can we get started? That was it. I mean, this is something that was paused in 2020 because the work has been done already, kept on my computer, everything, business model, everything, how it should work, how it should operate. And then here's somebody else saying, oh, I want it now. When can you get started? Why did that happen? The job or the real work of discovering the opportunity, of discovering the business model happened in 2020. A lot happened in 2020. But this is the same thing being used in 2021 for a much more bigger opportunity. And this is not the first time this is happening to me. There are a lot of times where something that has been either learned or created or discovered years before just comes back to be at a time where it becomes a much more bigger opportunity, much more bigger reward, much more bigger access. Why? Because the wait period was maximized. It was a season of downturn, it was a season of downtime, but I prepared a business plan, prepared a case for it, prepared a business model for it, even though there was no opportunity to execute it. And the first people I pitched it to said, oh no, we can't do it now because of COVID. But the same thing was useful just a year later, you know, in a different climate, if I might add, totally different climates. So, I mean, you could imagine the rewards. So that's it. Master your wait season. Make the best use of it. Now, the next thing I would say for the progress blueprint is to listen, take feedback, and learn everything. If you're a good listener, not you're listening to immediately jump in to respond. But if you're a good listener, either in boardrooms, in pitch session, in a classroom, in the marketplace, wherever you find yourself, if you're a good listener, you will pick on things that people are not really saying, but they are trying to say, and that presents for you massive opportunities if you latch onto those things. Someone can be saying one thing, but the body language is saying something else. That's a tell. Especially if you're a salesperson, you're speaking to an organization that you want to buy your technology or whatever you're offering. That's a tell. That tells you a whole lot, either about the organization or about the opportunity. That I mean, imagine me pitching one product and while the person is speaking, he mentions something else that I know we have a solution for, but we just did not bring it to this meeting. What would I do? Oh, hang on there. Yeah, we have this. I mean, let's begin all over again. We have this. Do you want this now? I think this will actually solve the problem you just mentioned. I'm like, oh yeah, why not? But I came into the meeting prepared for one thing, and I have picked on something else that is required at that point in time. Massive opportunity. So if you're a great listener, even in your relationships, family life, work life, career life, if you're a great listener, you take feedback and you leverage all of those. That's a massive opportunity for you. And then the last thing about feedback is you learning everything. I'll talk a bit about that. Now, every single day, um, you hear stuff. You hear a new word you've never heard before. You hear a new language you never knew existed. You hear about a new country you never would have imagined existed, probably in the news or something. I mean, just a simple Google search to say, okay, what's it about this nation? What's the economy like? What are the opportunities like? Might just reveal a whole lot to you. So if you have that mindset of always learning everything, I mean, let me just say it, yeah, good or bad, learn everything. You get the opportunity to learn about bad stuff, and then you can tell yourself, oh, this is bad for me, I shouldn't go this far. Take yourself back, go learn about another one. Like I mentioned before, I watch movies a lot. I love movies, Western movies, and there's a whole lot I have learned from just listening to the conversations, not just the pictures now, but listening to the conversations, listening to the topic in the background, and then just doing a Google search and finding one paper written by a professor way out there. I cannot even pronounce his name. And then from page two, something jumps at you, and you're like, oh, wow, this is going to be a massive opportunity in 5 years' time. And you start doing the groundwork now. Imagine what it will be like in 5 years' time for you and for everybody else who has heard about Bitcoin, for example. Imagine when Bitcoin was way back. I mean, the first time I wanted to do something with Bitcoin, I opened a Coinbase account. Coinbase is still not available to Nigerians, and I abandoned it because it wasn't available to Nigerians. And last year, when there was that massive, rise in the price of Bitcoin, I remembered I had a Coinbase account. I went back to it, and well, sorry, you did not purchase any Bitcoin. But I was in a meeting where um, a technology meeting, a developer was like, he just remembered an old account that had a stash of Bitcoin, and he was excited in the meeting. Why? Because he jumped in on it way early, but then he abandoned the account because, well, it was nothing. But here we are today, and cross-border transactions are happening because of the crypto technology. I mean, it's just amazing. Imagine what it is like for people who started way early. Why? Because they had a mindset of learning about stuff, of taking the opportunities as they come, and maximizing it, right? Now, that's for me is the progress blueprint. Start to finish. If you take each of these things and you wake up every day and say, this is my day, I'm going to master it, I'm going to leverage every opportunity, I'm going to listen carefully, amazing opportunities for you. Now, before I stop, I wrote something down. I think we should all say it. I mean, it's also how I go through every day as a Nigerian, looking like I am not in Nigeria. I'll say that again. Some people see me and feel like, oh wow, you're balling. I mean, you you have everything going right for you. Some days are bad. Some days are really, really, really bad. But then this is how I go through those days. So please repeat after me. I am human. I have emotions. I have expectations. I am gifted. I appreciate my gift. My gift is a huge contribution to the world, and the world appreciates my gift. Every day, I contribute this gift, and every day, I make progress with my gift. Thank you. Thank you for having me today, Kelvin. Thank you to the Wisdoms team. Thank you. Thank you very much for having me.
Wow. Round of applause, man. Let's do this. Let's do this. A round of applause to Samson. Wow, so much depth in there. So much depth and so much truth in there. You know, and it's awesome, Samson. You're a great guy. I remember at one point in our journey, I tried to get you on, and you told me you weren't ready yet. And now I know why.
I was busy.
Now I know why you said that, because you were cooking up something inside, cooking up something that you just felt like the world wasn't ready for it yet. And now this is the time. Samson, great truth.
Thank you. Thank you.
You know, you've really added to the layer again of what we've learned this morning. And Lee said,
Thank you.
Listen to this again, and I agree. So I mean, powerful stuff. And I like the words of affirmation there as well at the end. You know, that's something we need to keep doing. We need to keep doing every day, every day. Samson, you're the genius. You know, you're the genius here. We acknowledge your gift. We respect you, the owner of the gift and the gift. We celebrate you. Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah.
If you've got questions for Samson, this is your moment.
Yeah.
This is your moment. Go ahead. Please go ahead if you've got questions or anything to solidify what he said. Please, this is your moment to chip in. Anybody?
Precious has unmiked. Precious, did you have something to add?
Okay. Precious? Hi, Precious. Okay. Hello, Precious. Have you got something you want to say? Okay. Anybody else? Maybe something's going on with the mic. Anybody else?
Kelvin, again, I'm the jumper inner, and Samson, that was amazing. Just
thank you.
What I felt was the insights you were sharing had been sieved own life experience. That you were not reading this out of a success book, 5 steps to success.
No.
This is hard won insights from life and business. And so thank you but you know what it is? It's, and we in Wisdoms, we talk about it a lot, is that we talk about wisdom simple as 1, 2, 3. And the simplicity of your blueprint is only possible because of the complexity that you go through and reflect on, and to think through, and to say, okay, this is the lesson.
Exactly. This is a learning opportunity. Yeah.
That's just phenomenal. Just phenomenal. So thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
So, Samson, my question is, I'm going to put you on the spot. You mentioned a couple of these blueprint steps. Is there one that you think is most important of all?
Okay, there's one, and I did not mention it, but there is one. Yeah, that you just reminded me. I mean, for me, the most important of all, especially coming out of 2020, was the most important of all is you can lose everything and you can gain everything. It's a choice. It's hard. It's hard. It's hard to swallow that it's a choice. I mean, looking at what happened in COVID-19, it's hard. But yes, you can lose everything, you can gain everything. It's a choice. And I'll tell you why it's a choice. It's a choice because when you lose everything, if you stop there, you chose to stop there. But when you lose everything and you choose to begin afresh, to say, I can do this, that again is your massive opportunity. That again again begins something. So I was speaking to someone yesterday, and I was speaking to somebody about a friend who I had a call with, and I was excited for him because he's expanding his business. And I remember when this business started 5 years ago. Who could have imagined, right, that 5 years down, this is what it's becoming? Because he started coming from his background, right? It's an amazing testimony how far he has come. So you can lose everything, you can gain everything. It becomes a choice. I did not mention that one. Sorry for that. But for me, that's the most important.
Absolutely brilliant, Samson. Absolutely brilliant. I've just written in the chat the story I heard yesterday of a woman whose house burnt down. Everything she owned, gone, as you say, lost. But her story doesn't end there. Her story doesn't.
Exactly.
My house burnt down. My life fell apart. The end. It just was something she had to pick herself up, and she told that story in the context of the magic of people. And she was not telling the story to say, poor me, look what an awful life I had, my house burned down. She told the story in the context of, my house burned down and I was surrounded by incredible people who were generous
Privilege.
and in unexpected ways that I could never have
Exactly.
imagined. Yeah.
Exactly. And not everybody has that. Exactly.
Hi, guys. Can I say something?
Yes, please.
Okay. I think a lot of times we often, when we are faced by situations, we just throw ourselves back and give ourselves this pity party. And truth is, every person who has ever succeeded never dwelled in their situation. They always push through, you know. Like I can remember early this year, like late last year, going into the year, I was into, like, I'm an entrepreneur, so you know how it can get. So
Mhm. Yeah.
you know, some days I want someone to just say you're doing great, or I put so much work, sometimes I don't get back in return. Then I just need to see that I'm doing so much. But really, inside of me, I'm trying to build, and I want people to give me credit, but I just stopped at some point. I just told myself, okay, it's not about people validating what it is that you do. It is about you actually doing it for yourself and telling yourself that you believe in yourself and you can actually do it no matter what the fallout. There are days where it gets so bad you don't give in your best. Your clients would just rant at you, but if you just hold back and do not, like in situations where you have a bad cake and probably for one reason or the other, your cake gets bad and the customer shouts at you, you just feel like you're so worthless. But if you can make a cake out of the money that you have stocked up somewhere to replace that bad cake and tell this person, okay, yes, I had it bad, just to retain customers. So it's also the same for life. If your life pushes you to one direction and you feel like because of the situation that is caused by the universe or yourself, and you just stay back there, you don't really grow, you just stay stuck, and that's how you end up falling into depression. But then if you're able to, like, pick up from your failures and lean back and re-strategize, going forward would be better. And wisdom comes from failed places as well as it comes from successful places in your life. So that's my contribution to the whole
Thank
thing.
you. Thank you, Chef Wallace. Fantastic, amazing. Thank you. I mean,
Yep.
you just highlighted something again I really did not mention. Sorry for that, but things just keep coming as I hear people speak.
So much
Um,
to talk, so much to
yeah,
talk about.
yeah. I mean, like it's okay to cry. It's okay to tell yourself, yes, this day did not go well. I'm gonna cry myself a river tonight. That's fine. I mean, tomorrow it doesn't mean I'm going to cry tomorrow. You know, there's again, that's why I said you are a gift, right? When you appreciate the fact that I have a lot to contribute, this one human really did not appreciate that today. Doesn't stop this same human from appreciating it tomorrow. And it doesn't stop 7 billion other humans from appreciating it tomorrow, you know. So if I put a pause to my progress in life because one human says, oh, you're not good today, you're bad, go home, don't come back to work, whose fault would it be? Whose choice was it to not make progress? Whose choice was it to not march forward? My choice, not his, not hers. She made a comment. She expressed her own emotion about what I delivered, but how I receive that feedback and what I do with the choices I have tomorrow, totally my responsibility. And that is the essence of marching forward. That is the bedrock of making progress. Because again, when you look at the progress you've made with your life over the last 5-10 years, you would see that it's like the candlestick charts with investment bankers. It's the up and down every day, but up and down, it's tending upwards. You know, it's up and down every day, but we're making progress. This is the chart. It's like this. It's going up, but if you look at it in the microseconds, if you look at it in the minutes, if you look at it in the hours, look at it in the days, it's like this. But when you take a step back and you look at the whole picture, you see, oh well, I can actually take some ice cream today. We've made some upward progress with the journey, you know. So that's it. Yeah. Thank you for that.
Phenomenal, absolutely phenomenal. And this is so good again to remind everybody about the power of choice and how we all have that power to make choices that can push us forward. And I think I like what you said there. This is the bedrock of marching forward, knowing that you have a choice to lift a finger or lift your legs or whatever, just a step, just take that choice, use it, make the right choice today. Thank you, Chef Wallace. Thank you, everybody else, for your contribution. Has anybody got anything else they'd like to add to it? Okay. Okay, so great, True. Samson, listen, you've been a great blessing to us. We appreciate you.
Thank you very much.
I think Ivan wants to say something. Ivan?
Yes, thanks, Samson. Thanks, Colin. Yeah, loved your chat. I'm a little bit of a techie myself, but started long before you did. But love the story and the insights, and I think the point that one of the other points that you made there is we are actually living in the best time ever. The wealth that is available to everybody right now, the wealth of knowledge, the wealth of information, the wealth of opportunity, is bigger than it's ever been in the history of mankind, and it's because of this connectedness. So I really love that you picked up on that element, and I think it's so important for people to realize that it's there, and that it's a lifelong learning process, which I think is also what you very clearly identified for me in your chat there. And key, as you mentioned, I think was information overload, the danger of that, and I think that's a very real danger.
That would be a massive opportunity in the future. AI to streamline information. That would be great.
Well, the key is, of course, is that it streamlines and it doesn't manipulate it.
Yeah.
So yeah, so I think the beauty of it is, as we as human beings, we've got the ability to discern and to filter. And if you can take that information that is being presented to you and do that with it, and then learn from it. And I think that the other key that all of our speakers, including yourself, have touched on today, it's not so much about that information; it's about what you do with it. It's about that action. What are you actually going to do with it? We've spoken about being intentional and so on, and you brought that home again beautifully for us this afternoon. So thank you so much for that.
Thank you very much. Thank you for having me.
Samson, I think the other thing that I really appreciated about what you were saying is that the seeds of future success often lie in the past. That they and Shagan had also shared about the sowing and reaping, that there are things that we do that seem as if they're not going to work.
Yeah.
And we can get discouraged. But it's that line that you were drawing, right?
Yeah.
You're down, but it's there. The work is done, the learning is done, and at the right moment, or at the moment the context is right, you can bring it out, dust it off, and there it is.
Yeah.
Do you want to say more about that?
Oh yeah, thanks. Really, it's so which points to something I mentioned as well. It's your ability to listen, right? Your ability to hear and then take action. That's what makes all of the hard work put in today become an oak tree tomorrow, because you've done the work already. You've done the research. You've called a lot of people. You've done the pitch meetings. You've put yourself out there. You've fallen flat on your face. All the hard work is done already, And then tomorrow you're in a different part, but you hear someone talking about. So I remember something else. Sorry. So there's a new business we're launching. It's in law tech. I'm not a lawyer. I have no experience, no knowledge or anything. But we're going into this business with a law firm because we have the technology, they have the experience, and we're both coming together to create an entirely new vehicle, a new company to say, okay, let's chase this opportunity. How did that come about? We were building one thing in the company, and we stumbled upon we're building a tech product, and then part of that tech product would require this law tech component. And then I thought, so wouldn't it be great if we can just spin this off as its own entity? And my guys thought I was crazy, and I was like, okay, fine, let me reach out to somebody. Called a legal friend of mine, explained to him how it works, and he was like, yeah, that sounds cute, but I really don't know what it does. I said, okay, hold on, let's have a Zoom meeting. And we had that. I made a presentation, made a pitch, and he and his partners bought it. And next month, a new company is founded. We're going live. Technology already exists, so why not? And that's it. But the work has already been done by my guys, by my team, and for a different industry entirely. And then this is us saying, well, there's an opportunity in law. Why don't we just extract this, work with our partners, our new partners now, and a new vehicle is born. So it's your ability to listen to yourself, listen to the people around you, pick on the salient points, as you go through life. You sleep, you wake, you had a bad dream, you want to listen to that. Your coffee tastes bad today. Why? It has always been great. So why today? What's different today? Is it the weather? Is it how it was made? Is it the water you used? there's a whole lot of things that might go wrong with that coffee that day. But if you are listening and you take it as a learning opportunity, it becomes that opportunity for new things to grow, to spring forth tomorrow, even though the work has been put into there.